Hi, my name is Kate Grosvenor. I'm a perimenopause expert and life coach, and welcome to my series explaining all about perimenopause symptoms. Today we're covering symptom number 2 on my free tracker and checklist. You can download your free copy. The link will be below. So today we're going to cover symptom number 2. And symptom number 2 is memory lapses. Now, yesterday we covered difficulty concentrating, and on the surface, difficulty concentrating and memory lapses might seem very similar, but there's some very specific differences. Now, yes, estrogen and declining estrogen is a big factor, as it was in difficulty concentrating, but there's some other subtle differences going on. Number one, low progesterone. Like we talked about, declining estrogen and low progesterone, both of those will have an impact on you. So when your anxiety increases, that will have an increase, that will have an impact on cognition. When your estrogen fluctuates, that will have an impact on the neurotransmitters in your brain, the blood flow to your brain. Those two things, as with poor concentration, will definitely be impacted. Here's the difference. Poor sleep, when we were talking about poor concentration, that will make a difference in general cognitive levels. However, when we start to look at memory lapses, there's two specific changes that we look at when it comes to memory lapses. The first one is, because you get the poorer quality of sleep that you get, the less time that you get in REM sleep, in REM sleep. We know that REM sleep is when you consolidate memories, okay? So because you get less time, if you get poorer quality sleep and you get less sleep, you spend less time in REM, in REM sleep. Therefore, you spend less time being able to consolidate memories. Therefore, you're going to have poorer memory. It follows on, okay? So that's number one. So if your quality of sleep is worse, your memory is going to be worse, okay? Number two, if you have cortisol overload from stress in perimenopause, okay, which is very, very common. Women, because they get lower progesterone, because they get stressed more easily, because their tolerance is lower, all of these contributing factors, okay? What can happen is that we know that the high cortisol levels will shrink the hippocampus over time. When we shrink our hippocampus over time, that impairs the working memory function, okay? So that as well is a very distinct problem specifically to memory. Also, if you are looking for good memory, we're going to look at nutrition. So we're going to look at things like B vitamins, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and even D3 can impact brain function. So it's very, very important. And a lot of women can be nutritionally deficient, okay? And this may sound weird, but for so many of us in perimenopause, because we are in that period of our lives, we might be at the top of our career and we might be stuck between caring for parents and caring for children. So because we're stuck in the middle of those two, we might be just juggling too much. We might have information overload. We just can't, we're not, because we've got cognitive kind of impact, but cognitive less functionality, our brain just literally can't cope. So what can you do? Sleep. Please, darling, sleep. Genuinely. Prioritizing deep sleep, whatever you can do to get some sleep. Supplements that can help, really important, magnesium. I talk about this magnesium probably every single video that I do. We have a magnesium supplement in my lifestyle range that I created especially for perimenopausal women. It's a magnesium complex because it's got biglycinate, which helps you to go to sleep, stay asleep. It has magnesium taurate, which helps relax and calm the brain, the mind, and it has magnesium malate, which helps to relax the muscles. That combination is superb for perimenopausal women, simply because it tackles all of the things that will prevent you from getting a good night's sleep. Similarly, I created a cacao drink. Cacao, if you don't know anything about it, organic cacao, it helps your body to release serotonin. So serotonin is our feel-good neurotransmitter. I mixed it with ashwagandha, another thing that our brains absolutely love. It makes our brains feel kind of calm but alert at the same time. It's beautiful for the perimenopausal brain. But I put passion flower in it as well, because that makes you very, very calm. What else can you supplement with? You've got to supplement very wisely. Don't overload your body with supplements all at once, but get ones that are specifically for perimenopausal women. Multivitamins are not going to do the job in perimenopause. You need to look at your symptoms and talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, and talk and supplement for your symptoms, not a blanket, just throw something at it and hope that it helps, okay? We look at symptoms and we look at specific targeted supplements very, very wisely. Vitamin B complex will help you with hormone support and help you to balance your hormones and help you with mental clarity. As I said, the magnesium complex will help you with sleep. Omega-3 or vegan omega, if you're vegan, helps support brain structure and function. Vitamin D3, K2, be very specific about the K2, because we want that vitamin D to go into the areas that it needs to, not around the heart. I have a new one coming out in my specific lifestyle range. By the way, I created the lifestyle range to support my clients and the women that I coach, because I was fed up of trying to bring together different places from all different companies just for perimenopausal women. There's a new one that's coming out in the next week as I'm making this video, called Peri Clarity, which is it's a gentle nootropic mushroom, and it's shown to support cognitive function and clarity and memory and focus. Very, very important. When we look at reducing cortisol, okay, we're looking at gentle movement, so gentle walking, yoga, swimming, even things like journaling can calm your nervous system. Walking outside, walking with your feet on the earth, very beautiful. Mindset coaching would be amazing for you. Joining a support group, learning how you can reframe your anxiety or regain control, another gorgeous thing. Nourishing your brain, green leafy veggies would be beautiful as well. Oily fish, flaxseed, chia seeds, all these things your brain just adores. Avocados. We grow up, those of us who, I mean, if you're in the perimenopause now, the chances are you grew up in the 70s or 80s, and we grew up being afraid of fats because we were, fat was bad. Fat is not bad. Our brains love fats, good fats like avocados, oily fish, yeah, beautiful olive oils, but like extra virgin olive oils, our brains love it. We need those beautiful oils. Really good for us, okay? As I said, chia seeds, flax seeds, all those kind of things. Berries, lovely rich antioxidants. The darker the berry, the richer the colour, the better it is for us. And hydration, hydration, hydration. A dehydrated brain is an unhappy brain. So really go to town on water. And if you're one of those women that go, I don't like drinking water, and I get it, some women just don't. We grew up, I mean, we didn't drink water when we were kids, did we? We drank Umbongo and Fanta and the brightly coloured blue flavoured everything. Get yourself some electrolytes. So you want electrolytes that, because what electrolytes do is they provide essential vitamins and minerals, but they also help your body to use the hydration. It sounds really weird, like, how can my body use hydration even more? It's water, but your body kind of absorbs the hydration better into your body, okay? So electrolytes are really, really good, but you want one without artificial sweeteners and without sugar. Massively important, okay? What else? Just being part of a community of other women that are going through a journey similar to yours is amazing for just supporting you and And just knowing that you're not alone can really support your brain. And I know that's going to sound weird, but just it stops your brain from going into that spiral effect, and getting your brain to relax and feel supported and feel kind of cared for is actually half of the battle. Okay? Well, not half the battle, but you know what I'm saying. Okay? Being around like-minded women is really, really good for you at this time in your life. Journaling, gratitude journaling, brain dumping, getting your brain to work and to get used to having that extra resource to, when you're brain dumping, it's like spring cleaning your brain every night. You're just getting out of all that noise in your head. You're getting out onto paper. When you're gratitude journaling, you're saying the things that you're grateful for every day, and it's like a ray of sunshine into your brain. It's the quickest way to feel happier, and it's the quickest way to de-stress, and to it's the opposite of anxiety, because when you're putting all this sunshine into your heart, into your brain every day with gratitude, because you can't feel anxious and grateful, you can't feel jealous and grateful, you can't feel stress and grateful, because what you're doing is you're sitting there saying, I'm grateful for these beautiful things, and they don't have to be massive things. You're not talking about, I'm grateful for the moon and the stars. It can be like, I'm grateful that I found my glasses. Literally, I'm grateful that, you know what, today was a good day. I'm grateful that my kids and I, we just rubbed along well today. I'm grateful that my headache just didn't appear today. I'm grateful that my husband and I sat on the sofa and we had watched a really, really good movie. I'm grateful, and it can be big things like, I'm grateful for that my daughter finally found her calling in life. Huge. Or it could be, I'm grateful that my cat came and snuggled with me, you know, whatever. But they don't have to be the huge, great big, you know, roof above my head, calling in life, ikigai, mission, passion in life. They can be, I'm grateful that I found a parking space at Tesco's and I didn't get wet. Whatever it is, just get your brain trained on looking for gratitude, and the world becomes a much more positive place. And when the world becomes a much more positive place in your head, instead of looking for the negatives all the time, because we tend to outdo each other on negatives, don't we? When the world becomes a much more positive place in your head, okay, your brain starts to look more for the gratitude. And when it's looking more for the gratitude, it stops looking for the danger. When it stops looking for the danger, that's when your anxiety levels start going down, okay? I hope that helps, all right? Those are some things that you can do to help your brain with its memory. So supplement wisely, look after the environment in your brain, all right, my darlings, and sleep, 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 because sleep in perimenopause is a thing of absolute beauty. Take care, and I'll see you soon for symptom number 3. Bye.